I'm Doug Massey, and if you'd like to increase your sales numbers and start earning at least a six-figure income, you're definitely in the right place. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips that, well, if you can manage to follow, are basically a done deal for increasing your sales numbers and your financial outcome. And before we get into tip number 1, if you'd like a copy of my Overcoming Objections super file, this thing has scripts on overcoming objections for like all kinds of different scenarios. Just stick around until the end of the video and I'm going to show you how to get this for yourself. And just in case you weren't sure, yes, this is the perfect time to give this video a thumbs up, and we suggest that you subscribe if you're new. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos like all the time. Now, with that being said, let's get into it. Tip number 1, if you're not already committed to a fixed amount of exclusive weekly leads, then you need to do that like right now. I mean, think about it, guys. How can you get any momentum going if you're just buying some leads here and there, you're working them a little bit here and there, and then, maybe buying some more later? By actually committing to a specific amount of leads every single week, your focus is going to be centered on working those leads each week and not just like trying to squeeze the life out of each lead. For example, let's say that you buy maybe, 50 Facebook or 50 internet leads, and you work them for a couple of weeks, and you're actually able to get like 5 or 6 sales from that batch. At the end of the month, you might only have like 10 or 12 sales, but by committing to that same 50 leads every single week, now you're potentially going to double or even triple your numbers, your sales numbers. Tip number 2, start generating your own leads on top of the ones you're purchasing. Yeah, it's gonna be some work, right? And it feels a little expensive, especially when you've got to spend like $5,000 or maybe even like $10,000 to purchase one of those Facebook calendar funnel systems. But in the long run, guys, you're gonna be able to get more sales, and if you're selling something like final expense insurance through maybe, a telesales platform, now you're going to be able to have as many leads as you want by just increasing your advertising budget each week. If you're thinking, well, technology isn't exactly my best friend, then it's good that you know that about yourself. And guys, there are plenty of agencies just like mine that can actually run the technology for you. We've got agents getting like 20 to over 30 appointments per day, and the agent isn't even lifting a finger to generate those leads or appointments. And the beautiful thing about working under a platform like this is that you can increase your budget by like maybe $100 each week, all the way until the point where you're getting the exact number of appointments that you want and that you need to accomplish your goals. Tip number 3, when a prospect gives you an objection, turn it into an opportunity to A, build value in the products that you're selling, and B, to build like a lot of rapport. I teach our contracted sales team, our agents, a system where we know the clients are gonna tell you that, maybe they need to think about it first, or they gotta speak with the kids first before making any financial decisions. So when you expect this and you've actually got an answer that makes total and complete sense to that prospect, they're going to trust you and want you to be their insurance agent. Of course, this means you'll want to become a professional at your art, which of course is sales. Working on yourself by like reading books about sales and influence, even taking up medication, diet and exercise is important, can all have a huge effect on how you sell, how you perform. The biggest fail for salespeople is when they don't consistently work on their sales skills to increase their game. Think about it. Do professional athletes train occasionally, or do they train like every single day? Look, guys, I'm a little old school, and in my opinion, there are actually 2 different types of salespeople: the sales professional and the salesperson. Salespeople, salespersons are not very good. And that's why it's important that you got to step up your game and maximize your performance. Tip number 4, if you haven't done it already, get away from field and face-to-face sales and get into remote telesales. It doesn't matter if you're selling final expense, mortgage protection, or even like Medicare or ACA products. Remote insurance sales is the future. Actually, it's not even the future. It's the present. It's the now. And look, if you can't accept that the bigger money is going to be done remotely, then your level of success will most likely start decreasing if it hasn't already. And now, instead of staying relevant and reaping the fruits of your labor, you're kind of stuck in an outdated sales process only to end up losing money and basically in the end struggling, long term. Tip number 5, if you're not selling the senior market, start making the move to do that right now. I'm telling you guys, the senior market is like where it's at. That's where all the low hanging fruit sits, and it's also where the long-term and larger renewal monies are. A great example is how my wife Mariana and I have like this big book of business of people that we've sold final expense to over the years, like literally thousands of clients. Now, my wife makes like a few presentations each week. She doesn't even have to work very hard. And these are all people that she already knows and, they already trust her. She simply finds out what they have for Medicare insurance, and if she can put them in a better plan, she does that. It's pretty simple. And since a majority of our clients are low-income individuals, they've got a Medicare Advantage plan, which when she does help to switch them, she gets a lifetime annual commission. Guys, we're talking about easy laydown sales and huge renewal potential, and without spending a penny on leads. Here's your pro tip of the day. If you're new or getting into insurance sales, start with selling final expense the way we did. Well, we did it face-to-face. You want to do it remotely. Once you've built up that book of business, like maybe, I want to say a couple of years later, you can make the move over to Medicare sales just like my wife did. After helping out your final expense clients with their Medicare needs, the trust and rapport can get so big that they will start referring you to their friends and family. So now the pipeline is just growing day after day, week after week, year after year, just like it does for Mariana. If you'd like access to free final expense telesales training, just click on the little link above, and this thing's going to take you to our 3-part series that's designed to give you like everything you need to become a master at the art of remote final expense life insurance sales. If you'd like a copy of the Overcoming Objections Super File, I mentioned this thing earlier in the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. For more info on working with us and having access to our remote final expense sales platform, just shoot me an email at that same address. As always, guys, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now get out there or get on that headset and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.
With